The moment you stop being afraid of change, and the moment you no longer have faith and fear, and you're blocking all the divine treasures that the universe is trying to send you, that's the moment when you're honestly not lying to yourself anymore in saying that I'm ready to take that step. You know, that's what faith is all about. I don't like really using these words like faith and karma, luck. It's all earth words. They're all made up. But for lack of a better means to convey the message from one individual to another, I clearly understand the necessity for these types of words, you know, as far as communication. But again, these are made up here. They have no relevance anywhere else in the cosmos. But nonetheless, and trust me when I tell you, I'm not blowing smoke up your backside. I'm speaking from experience. Absolutely. You know, a couple of months ago, the universe set up something perfect for me. Absolutely perfect. You know, I had so many messages and signals and symbols and, oh my God, divine synchronicities and confirmations all over the place for me to move from where I was to where I am now. And I was all built up. I was going to get ready to go. I had gone to the local rental to get the truck and the trailer. All this stuff, I had it in front of the house. And then panic set in. And then my mind, the physical mind, went into overload. And it was like giving me a gazillion excuses why I'm not going to do this. Over and over. And then the people that I live with were like, you shouldn't do it. Where are you going? You don't have a place to stay. What are you going to do when you get there? This is crazy. It's so much money. It just kept flooding. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I can't do it. That's it. You know, and I convinced myself to block the blessings of God. See, this is what your social programming does. They, meaning the creatures that run the matrix, they get you to block your blessings because they keep you trapped in a paradigm of existential threats out there. Oh my God, there's an invisible boogeyman. He's going to kill us all. That's why you have Siri and Alexa in your house, because it's all surveillance, folks. They're watching everything you're doing, whether you really want to know it or not. You might think, oh, I'm asking this device something, it's giving me answers, but it's much darker than that. That's why your cell phone is a transceiver. And it also triangulates your position. It records everything that you do. Everything that you do. So, getting back to my initial point, when you stop feeding the fear, the uncertainty, skepticism, pessimism, doubt, paranoia, dread, giving yourself a million excuses why you're not going to do this thing, and give yourself one reason why you are, and you're not lying about it, you're not panicking anymore, that's when you become a glitch in that system. Because the system is about conformity and assimilation. It isn't about proactive autonomy, individuals, liberated. It's not about that. They can't permit that. They always try to prevent it from happening. Because what happens if you have a world of individuals? There's no control. Then it's a free-for-all. There's no central hub to control the larger masses, and that's not going to be allowed. So the moment you start actually acting of your own volition, on your own behalf, that's when the magic happens, because then you become a vibrational equivalent to where God needs you to be. Because you have to understand, the reason why this matrix keeps you at such a low density is because that is the frequency, number one, where they can control you, and number two, that you will block everything high vibrational in your path. Think about it. Think about what I'm saying. I told you already a long time ago, the law of attraction is garbage. And I'll tell anybody to their face, the law of attraction is made up earth garbage. Okay? Why? I'll tell you why. First off, when you have to attract something, that means you're inferring that what you are right now is incomplete and not whole. So therefore, if I want my happiness, I have to attract it from the external to me. Or if I want money, I have to attract it. Or if I want a partner, or if I want a better job, I have to attract it. Meaning that you don't have it inside you, vibrationally speaking. And that is the lack, loss, and absence mentality. That's also the victim mentality. That's also separatism. So you're not catching on to this stuff. And they know full well that their law of attraction is a load of freaking donkey doo. It's all it is. It's just garbage. It's junk. The reason why they promote it, because it sells billions of books and all that junk that goes with it. It's always profit over people. They don't care about you. They don't care about your family. They don't care if you make it or not. They just care about cha-ching, 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 man. That's all it's about. It's not about attracting anything. And it's about activating frequencies by becoming that frequency. Like I say before, if you don't believe me, look on YouTube. 2 tuning forks, both tuned to the same frequency. Hit one, the other one vibrates without having to physically strike it. Why is that? Because they're occupying the same vibrational atmosphere, because they're the same frequency. When you hit one, the other one goes, I see you, because we're the same. We are vibrational equivalents. You have now activated my awareness of you, and you are now in my field of energy. Now we are one. Now let's experience the reality that this atmosphere has to, show us, present us in the form of your experiences, situations, circumstances, everything. That's as simple as I can put it, man. So when you are existing in a vacuum of fear and a paradigm of illusionary projections, and you're actually believing these things are real, they've got you by the freaking cojones. You can't think for yourself. When was there ever a time in your life that you were thinking for yourself? Honestly, none. Because if you're walking around with a cell phone in your hand, staring at it like a zombie, and your attention span is like 2 seconds, and you got to get your next fix, gossip, the gossip, the drama, the nonsense, the noise, all the he said, she said, the political bantering, all the 3D puppet show that's going on in politics right now. Come on, folks. All those people, they're on the same team, and they're not playing for your team. I am not even going to get into it, but I can tell you that suffrage is an illusion. Look up the definition of the word suffrage. Okay, it means to vote, the right to vote. It's an illusion. These people are not elected by anybody. They are selected by what's running this clique. And that's the truth. Democracy is an illusion. This is a plutocratic kleptocracy run by totalitarian oligarchs with delusions of grandeur and total global domination through the proliferation of psychological warfare waged against the human mind. That's how they do it, folks. That's how they do it. They get you every time, and me too. A couple of months ago, I had everything lined up perfect. There's a rental center over here. I got the truck and trailer. I literally walked over there. And there was in the sky, there were so many different clouds with symbols telling me, it's perfect. Everything was in alignment. And what happened? I balked. I freaked out. I panicked. I jumped ship. My faith was in the Matrix, not God. And I was like, wait a minute, man. What am I doing here? Just because I don't see these things? And here I am, professing all of this great stuff on YouTube, but I ain't walking the walk. I'm talking the talk, but I'm not walking the walk. And I'm like, no. I'm not going to be disingenuous like so many others online, pretending to have their act together, and they're so perfect, and all of this stuff. And in truth, they're a living wreck. But they're going on YouTube saying how, you should do this, and you should do that. Very few, if any, actually tell you that they're not perfect themselves. A lot of them try to perpetuate the illusion of, I'm not a work in progress. I've got my act together. That couldn't be farther from the truth. This video is it's not about faith, hope, trust, or belief. It's about possessing a certainty of an unwavering knowing that just because you don't see it doesn't mean that you should allow your mind to fear it. What do I mean by that? You must deny the false evidence of your physical senses when they run contrary to your metaphysical desires, meaning the divine plan is metaphysical. God sees something that your mind cannot. Your mind's like, I don't see it. This is not familiar to me. This is uncomfortable. This is not safe. We're going to bail out. Panic stations, battle stations, everybody get your guns. We're going to have to start eliminating everything. I'm not freaking comfortable with this. That's it. Forget this. Let's just go back to our comfort zone. That's what your mind wants to do. And the soul is like, yo, man, you are panicking and freaking out for no reason whatsoever. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm not blowing smoke out of my ears or smoke up your backside. I'm not doing that. Or else you wouldn't be watching this video. The truth is that you are energy, and you are low energy because of the system that you are connected to. It's satanic, it's cannibalistic, and it's reptilian. That's who's running that garbage. Look at the introduction to the Olympics. Look at when Rihanna did the freaking Super Bowl intermission. That was a satanic ritual, for Christ's sake. You can't see that? They're letting you know subtly because they want you to become acclimated to what they are. Satanists, cannibals, and pedophiles. You know, they want you to bow to the god Thor and all that other warlock garbage. You know, it's all junk. I'll give you a little piece of insight right here. You know, the lady that is the VP, she's running for president, okay? You want me to prove to you that she's a Satanist? Okay. After you finish watching this, and listen to me clearly, I want you to go on YouTube and look up the Biden-Harris Warlock Hunger Games inauguration. Just put in Biden inauguration. You know that phony display they had that was like pre-taped like 12 hours in advance? It was junk. But anyway, I want you to look up when Harris was going to be sworn in. I'm going to say this real close. I'm going to say this real slow and very deliberate. So listen up. I want you to go just to her inauguration part right before she was to swear in. Now, what are you going to see? She's going to take her clutch purse. Let me say that again. She's going to take her clutch purse. That's like a tiny little bag that some women carry. She takes her clutch purse and she throws it on top of the Bible. And then she puts her hand on top of the clutch purse. Her bare hand never touches the Bible itself. Why? Because she's a Satanist. That's why. They all are. They're all Satanists. And did you see that warlock thing, that Necronomicon that Biden was putting his hand on? That wasn't a Bible. That was a joke. If you don't believe me, look up Kamala Harris inauguration, where she's going to be sworn in. She takes her clutch purse and puts it on top of the Bible and puts her hand on top of the clutch purse. Her bare hand never touches the Bible. Okay? Come on, folks. Wake up. You are being lied to. You always have been. When you come into this world, you have no sense of direction. You don't have the accumulated experiences necessary in order to formulate your own understanding of what these things are. So they come in, they meaning the Matrix, and they fill your head with, that's the sun, this is the clouds, that's a tree, you're a boy, that one's a girl, and all this stuff. You know, and that's what guides your direction in life. This is what governs your perception and your thoughts of what reality is and what it isn't. They've got you lock, stock, and barrel. Everything that you refer to as far as your information, they put there inside your subconscious mind. So what do you have to refer to? Just a bunch of misinformation, disinformation, and prevarication. That's what you refer to as your operating system. It's all lies. So when you're looking at this, you're going to see what they want you to see. Paranoia, threats, fear, danger, uncertainty, doubt. You know, oh my God, this guy's looking at me. Why is he looking at me? He wants to give me COVID. You know, he's trying to kill my family. You know, I got to keep staring at my phone. You know, let's just disassociate, you know, and disconnect from everybody else. And let's just stay in our little cubby hole. That's a prison cell, your house, by the way. And let's just stay away from the world. You know, that's all done by design. That's all done by design. And I was a victim of this for a long time. And the universe is saying, listen, go or don't go. But if you don't go, you're not going to be able to realize your dreams, so you're going to stay stuck in a low vibrational rat hole. And I'm like, it took me a couple of times. The first time I scheduled for a truck and trailer, I bailed out. Why? Fear. I let the old noodle take control. And then, of course, you understand, your mind is the Matrix. I hope you understand that. There isn't like some sort of like structure out there, like the movie, like, oh, we can plug into it. You are plugged into it. The fact that you're watching this video means you are plugged into the Matrix. But the information I'm giving you, the content that you're downloading subconsciously, is high vibrational. I'm not lying to you. I'm not doing subliminal programming or flash editing or something like that. There's no malevolence on my channel. That's the difference. But all the content that you consume is shaping and molding your perceptive lens on life. That's why you have a polarized mentality and an egocentric perceptive lens of duality. You only see black or white, good or bad, rich or poor. Those, again, are all programming mechanisms from the operating system. Your unconscious societal programming mechanisms. Why? Because when you were a baby, they put that in there. Why do you think they make it illegal for you not to attend their indoctrination camps, aka their school system? If your parents don't send you to school, they get locked up. Come on, folks. People could rob a freaking grocery store and not have the cops called on them. You could literally kill somebody and not go to jail. But if you don't send your kids to school, they're taking you away in the paddy wagon. Are you catching on yet? I hope so. Why do you think they're so adamant about you having to attend their indoctrination camp? Because they want you to be thoroughly brainwashed and remove the I from team, which stands for individual. That's the God's honest truth. Because they cannot control you if you have a proactive autonomous intelligence. It's impossible. And this is why I do these videos. To hopefully get you to awaken yourself. Because I can't awaken anybody but this guy right here. So I just want to say that if the universe is attempting to subtly nudge you towards something unfamiliar, don't be afraid of it. But your level of fear is indicative of the correlation of how much saturation you have been exposed to with regards to your programming from the matrix. The greater the fear, the greater the programming, and the more you're brainwashed. Odds are that you are probably a subdimensional creature, probably maybe even one-dimensional. In other words, your mentality is locked in a one-dimensional paradigm. But once you break that third-dimensional barrier like I have, then you get to see the zeros and the ones. You get to see the illusion as it is, the holographic illusionary projector, the simulator. And then you're no longer allowing this to guide you because this is controlled by them. The minds of the few control the minds of the many. Everyone is thinking the same, so no one is thinking at all. That's the truth. But the beautiful thing about life is your perception. Because we each see life through different eyes, because reality is a matter of perception. So that's the beautiful thing. Even though we're on the same journey, we're seeing it differently. So we have different stories to tell each other, which is beautiful. You know, you have 20 people standing in front of a painting. You're going to get 20 separate individual interpretations of what that piece of art means to that person. And that always, always fascinates me. So let it be that we celebrate these things with one another, not attempt to kill each other with disempowering belief systems. Because disempowering belief systems are the very reason why people are killing each other. All disempowering belief systems are the antithesis of consciousness, that is, the divinity of the life force essence of your soul, as we are neither above God nor below God. We are God. They don't want you to know that. They don't want you to realize your power. That's why when you came here, they never filled you in, motivated you, made you aware, inspired you. Hey, guess what? You're a cosmic being capable of manifesting greatness and miracles anytime, anywhere. No. Little Billy, you're going to be a police officer, and Nancy, you're going to be a nurse. You're going to pay your taxes and shut your mouth, and we're going to put a barcode on your head. And we're going to give you a name and a number, and that's it. We're going to classify you as, middle class, and you're white, and you live in the suburbs, and it just goes on and on and on. And that becomes your identity. And then, unfortunately, you will defend that identity to the death with cognitive dissonance, ad hominem, and possibly, sadly, dispatch someone with extreme prejudice if they dare tell you something you don't want to hear, because it's running counterintuitive to your programming mechanism. Basically they're like, you're getting your orders from the hive mind collective, and it's reinforcing it every day. So they're telling you what to do and what not to do and how to act and what to wear, what's acceptable, what's not. And you're going to listen because you're an obedient, obsequious sycophant. And you're not even aware of it. You're thinking, no, I'm in control of my own life. Really? Look at the clothes you wear. Listen to the topics of conversation that you bring up. Look at the people you hang out with. Examine the things that you're analyzing online, your videos. Are you getting sucked into the political, three-dimensional optical puppet show? Red versus blue. Guess what, folks? They're all on the same team, and it ain't your team. They're playing for the corporate party, and that's a party that you and I are not invited to. I can't say too much about elections on YouTube. They'll shut me down. And you can't say the truth on any social media platform, because the truth shall always be perceived as a threat to an empire built of lies. It's just that simple. Okay, I know somewhere deep down inside that this video is reaching you because you're like, ooh, that does resonate with me. Because every single thing they've been telling you from the moment that you got to this planet has been a freaking lie. Everything. If they never told you who and what you were, who and what would you be? Think about that. I know that might sound stupid and silly to say it, but really, say it to yourself. They didn't tell you you were black and a man or any of this stuff. That you're Republican, you're Puerto Rican, all that garbage. They didn't tell you any of that stuff. Who and what would you be? They told you everything. That's why that is your identity. That's what you refer to as your resource of information that governs your awareness and controls your perceptive lens. So you're a robot. You're only going to see what they want you to see. And anything that's off that radar, you'll just reject it. That's why you refer to it as your imagination. Look up the definition of the word imagination. Imaginary, not realized, unrealistic, fictitious. But how could you use something that doesn't exist? I refer to it as my sacred space because it is not imaginary. Neither is source. You see how they're systematically eliminating God from the equation of life? Now, when I say God, please don't misconstrue religion, because unfortunately the name God and Jesus are synonymous with religion. Religion is the bane of heaven. Trust me, religion is the most evil of all evil. The most evil. And it always shall be. It's about control, power, and profit. It's not about people and spirituality and unity and consciousness. It is not. It never will be. It never has been. It's always about money and power. That's why the Vatican has hundreds of quintillions of dollars. That's 18 zeros. The Vatican, of its own volition, can resolve global hunger and poverty in one day and still not even put a dent in their freaking secret accounts that they have. Do you see them doing it? No, not at all. I've covered this already. But anyway, in closing, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it isn't there. Like the wind, like a soul, like music. You can't see sound, but you know it's there. Right? So don't be afraid. Don't let them program you to death to the point where you're blocking every single treasure that the universe is attempting to get you to absorb, to help you and help yourself and help others. The reason that you don't recognize these things, my friend, is because you're not operating in a vibrational environment conducive, meaning the alignment of, that will allow you to perceive these things and become aware of them. But the moment you start breaking free from the matrix, things that have been in front of your face for years, all of a sudden will begin to show themselves. Because why? You're now vibrationally equivalent, meaning you've elevated. Now we're like, oh my God, that was there the whole time. I didn't even see it. It's going to be beautiful if you allow the process to happen. Trust the process. What I mean by that is trust God, meaning you, trust yourself, trust the universe. Put no faith in religion, no faith in man, and no faith whatsoever in the matrix. Because man is not to be trusted. Every time you go into a courtroom, what does it say on the wall? In God we trust. Because man is not to be trusted. It's just that simple. But anyway, if you get promptings from the universe to head in an unfamiliar direction, do not saturate it with Captain Crazy over here, because he's going to go, no way, I'm not going to allow this. I'm going to block it every step. It's not going to happen, because your ego is going to say, oh, hell no. We're not going to allow this thing to come in, because if it does, it's going to destroy all our plans of darkness. This is not acceptable, not permissible. We won't allow it. That's what your ego is going to do. So your fear is going to be the one, the driving force that's going to be shooting everything and killing it, that's trying to come into your life to help you. Don't make that mistake. See, I've learned from my mistakes. That's why I'm on my third and final. I'm going. Absolutely. And any other time, what this taught me was when God says something once, listen and do. Because God is never going to lie to you. God's never going to hurt you or mislead you. And God is not going to lead you somewhere where you're going to fail or fall. God's only going to send you things that you can handle. When I say God, again, please don't misconstrue anything to do with religion. Religion is garbage. It is garbage. I have already done 1 million videos on religion. If religion were the word of God, religion would be as old as God. The oldest religion is Hinduism at 4,500 years old. This earth is over 5 billion. You see where I'm going? Just play the numbers game, and nothing adds up. Religion is all about this and control, as it always was, as it always will be. But anyway, think for yourselves. Question everything. Don't believe anything anybody else is telling you. You want answers? Open your heart, and you'll receive telepathic intuition, intuitive guidance from the divine transmissions telepathically. You know those voices you hear? Go there, do this, and the things that are beneficial? That's the universe attempting to work through your heart to your soul to tell you you're in the wrong spot. Get away from that energy. You shouldn't be here. Stop doing this thing. You're self-destructive. But since your mind is so locked in self-destructive mode, you're not going to listen because you're low vibrational and you are feeding the addiction and the obsession of these things, because the matrix will control you with your addictions. That's what they prey on. And that's how they exploit you. With your addictions, your obsessions, habitual obsessive compulsive behaviors, routines, patterns, habits, think like a broken record. You're predictable to them. So they know how to get you every time. Whether it's alcohol, drugs, porn, whatever it is. It's always the same stuff. And they just, since you're not breaking free from it, they're like, yeah, we got you hook, line, and sinker. Chains on your mind. Chains on your mind. Well, it's time to break those chains, man, and get out of that that psychological penitentiary that you put yourself in unconsciously. Awaken yourself, because I can't do it for you. But what I can do is I can give you guidance and instructions in the hope that you take it and you listen, because you are your own teacher. You are your only teacher. And hopefully this video can do some good. But the next time you get some sort of inclination or any type of urge from the universe, giving you some sort of, directions, hoping to compel you to move in that area, don't hesitate, because God ain't going to do nothing that's bad for you, man. The only one that's going to do that is you, because you're hooked up to something satanic. And they don't want you to rise. The darkness never rises, man. Evil induces the very fears from which it feeds, because the darkness has no power. Only love, light, peace, and happiness are power. The darkness is a destructive force. It is not a power. It cannot create anything. It can only destroy. But we need the darkness to give us contrast, because the darkness and the light are one, because everything is source. Without the darkness, there is no light. But again, ask yourself, what has more power in my life? The dark or the light? Answer, what are you giving all of your energy to? And there's your answer. Peace.